I'm sure in life, you've had times where you've been mad at something, or you've been upset at something, or you've just felt a negative emotion about something. And the thing is, feeling negative emotions sucks. But what you have to understand, right, is when something makes you feel a negative emotion, that's because that's who you are. Every single experience you've had in your life, they've all cultivated to form who you are now in the present day. So when something causes you to feel an emotion, that's fine. It's fine to feel negative emotions. It's fine to get upset because someone insults you. It's fine to be angry when someone won't listen to you. Feeling negative emotions is okay. And to be able to accept yourself wholeheartedly, you have to understand that it's okay. Accept that deep part of yourself who holds grudges, who feels upset about certain things, who feels angry about certain things. That's what acceptance is. To allow yourself to feel how you feel. To let go of what you can't control. Because end of the day, you can't control what emotion you feel. I know that sounds unfortunate, but you really can't. If something makes you feel a certain way, it makes you feel that certain way. And that's okay. By learning to accept the negative emotions you feel and understanding there's a reason why you feel like that, it allows you to gain a deeper understanding of yourself. Now, as I said, feeling negative emotions is fine, but does that mean you can do bad things because you feel negative emotions? No. See, here's the thing, right? When you accept yourself and the negative emotions you feel, you gain an upper hand over them. You stop them from basically controlling you. And by gaining that upper hand, it means you don't have to shout at someone just because you're angry. You don't have to react violently because you're maybe upset. Instead, you feel that emotion within you and you say to yourself internally, I am feeling sad. I am feeling angry. And as a result, it will prevent you from basically doing those things that you regret doing when you get angry. I'm sure you've shouted at people that you don't want to shout at when you've gotten angry. The truth is that's because, and I know this is going to sound a bit harsh, it was because at that particular time, you were a slave to that emotion. You let it control you. Your sense of rational thinking completely fell out the window. You have the right to feel negative emotions. I know it's been stigmatized by society. Don't get angry. But feeling angry is not the same as showing anger. Showing anger would mean you shout at people. Because you feel this emotion, you basically let it dictate your actions. That's what it means to show anger and what it means to basically be a slave to your emotions. Really, your emotions can be a tool to help you understand yourself. Why this makes me feel like this. And doing this helps you gain a deeper level of self-discovery that you would not be able to achieve without doing this, basically. So, don't suppress your emotions. Don't try and fight them, and especially do not get mad at yourself for feeling that emotion. Accept it. That's you. You feel that emotion because that's you. And remember, just because you feel an emotion doesn't mean you have to do something bad. Your actions and your emotions are separate. I know they feel interlinked, but they are separate. Yeah, you can feel something and do something completely different. Now, there is this scene in Naruto that perfectly illustrates this concept. The power of acceptance. So for a bit of context, Naruto has this untapped, vast power within himself that he's basically trying to learn to control. So what he does is he goes to this waterfall. The waterfall is called the Falls of Truth. This waterfall, it reflects the true version of yourself. So Naruto goes to this waterfall, and reflected to him is a dark version of himself. And this dark version of himself calls himself the true version of himself. The part of him that he's kept locked away deep within himself. And this dark version of himself begins to tell Naruto the villagers, the pain they made you go through, the way they ostracized you as a child, and now they're asking for your autograph. The audacity for them to do something like that. And Naruto, he got angry at his dark self. So he goes to attack his dark self. But you gotta realize, the dark self is Naruto. So power-wise and strength-wise, they're completely matched. So Naruto was not able to be his dark self. Yeah? So effectively, he failed. He exits from the Falls of Truth. And you see Naruto, he does some deep reflecting. And he comes back to the Falls of Truth. But this time, his goal is different. His goal is to understand his dark self. The part of himself that he's kept deep within himself. The deep part of himself that hates the villagers for the pain they made him go through. So, his dark self reiterates the pain that Naruto went through. But this time Naruto doesn't try and attack him. This time his dark self attacks Naruto. And Naruto, instead of fighting back, he hugs his dark self. And pretty much he just accepts that part of himself that he's kept locked away. The anger he has for the villagers, the other negative emotions that he doesn't give a lot of thought to. And by doing this, by accepting that part of himself, his dark self fades away. And so this scene perfectly illustrates the power of acceptance. Accepting that deep part within yourself that you keep locked away, that's fueled by the negative emotions that you felt about something. And so by accepting that deep part within yourself that holds the grudges, and accepting that wholeheartedly, you're able to gain this level of peace, you know? You don't let that feeling control you, but instead, you accept you have the right to feel that way, and that everything that's happened to you is why you feel that way. And the first step towards understanding yourself is to accept that part of yourself completely. So, acceptance. It's hard. I know it's hard, yeah? But remember, you have the right to feel those negative emotions. Negative emotions do not make you a bad person. What makes you a bad person is acting on those negative emotions and doing bad things because you feel those emotions. Because you feel anger, you do something bad. But feeling anger doesn't make you a bad person. So, keeping that in mind, when you feel a negative emotion about something, accept that. Accept that this makes me feel this way, and that's okay. Maybe you can learn to understand why you feel this way. If you look deep in yourself, you can see what causes you to feel like this about this situation, and you'll gain more control over your emotions, and you'll become a better person, and you'll accept what you can't control, and you'll keep living. If you're gonna live, right, for 80 years, so you might as well live at peace, right? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and until next time, goodbye.